Throughout history, there have been those who have risen to lead a nation, facing challenges and decisions that would shape not only the course of their time, but the future of millions. Today, we honor the U.S. presidents, men who stood at the helm of this great nation, guiding it through its darkest hours and brightest triumphs. Their leadership, courage, and vision echo in every corner of American life, leaving a legacy that will never fade. Join us in paying tribute to these extraordinary leaders who defined the very essence of what it means to serve. If you feel inspired by their stories, please like, share, and subscribe to CelebrityTributeHub, where we celebrate the lives of those who shaped the history we live today. George Washington, the first President of the United States, stands as one of the most monumental figures in American history. As Commander-in-Chief during the American Revolution, he helped secure the nation's independence and later laid the groundwork for the country's democratic foundations. Washington passed away on December 14, 1799, at the age of 67, from natural causes. His legacy endures in the values of liberty, democracy, and leadership that continue to define the United States. Washington's name is forever linked to the ideals upon which the country was built, and his influence is immeasurable. John Adams, the second President of the United States, was a visionary leader and a steadfast advocate for American independence. He was instrumental in drafting the Declaration of Independence, a document that would forever change the course of history. Adams passed away on July 4, 1826, at the age of 90, on the same day as his friend and fellow revolutionary, Thomas Jefferson. His legacy is one of courage and conviction, as he tirelessly worked to establish a government grounded in democratic principles, shaping the nation's future for generations to come. Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, is best known for his role as the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, a document that boldly asserted the right to freedom and self-governance. His presidency, from 1801 to 1809, was marked by the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark Expedition, which expanded the nation's territory. Jefferson passed away on July 4, 1826, at the age of 83. The same day as John Adams. His legacy continues to resonate as he remains a symbol of democratic ideals and the pursuit of liberty. James Monroe, the fifth President of the United States, is best remembered for the Monroe Doctrine, a key foreign policy that asserted American influence over the Western Hemisphere. Monroe's presidency, from 1817 to 1825, was marked by efforts to promote national unity and expansion. He passed away on July 4, 1831, at the age of 73, from natural causes. Monroe's legacy is defined by his diplomatic achievements and his role in strengthening the United States' position in international affairs. He is remembered for laying the groundwork for future American foreign policy. James Madison, the fourth President of the United States, is widely recognized as the Father of the Constitution due to his pivotal role in drafting and promoting the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Madison served as president during the War of 1812, a conflict that tested the nation's resolve. He passed away on June 28, 1836, at the age of 85, from natural causes. Madison's legacy lives on in the principles of freedom, democracy, and individual rights that continue to guide the United States today, ensuring his place in history. William Henry Harrison, the ninth President of the United States, was a celebrated military leader and the hero of the Battle of Tippecanoe. His brief presidency, however, lasted only 31 days, the shortest in American history, as he succumbed to pneumonia shortly after taking office. Harrison passed away on April 4, 1841, at the age of 68. While his time in office was brief, his legacy as a military figure and his role in shaping the early years of the nation remain important chapters in American history. John Tyler, the 10th President of the United States, assumed office following the death of William Henry Harrison. Known for his strong stance on states' rights, Tyler faced significant challenges during his presidency, particularly with his own party. He passed away on January 18, 1862, at the age of 71, from a stroke. Tyler's legacy is remembered for his resilience in office and for setting the precedent for presidential succession, ensuring that the office of the president would remain stable in times of crisis. Martin Van Buren, the eighth President of the United States, was a key figure in the formation of the Democratic Party. Van Buren's presidency, marked by the economic hardship of the Panic of 1837, saw him struggle with the nation's financial collapse. He passed away on July 24, 1862, at the age of 79, from natural causes. Though his presidency was marred by economic challenges, Van Buren's legacy is defined by his political acumen and his role in shaping the political landscape of the United States during the 19th century. James K. Polk, the 11th President of the United States, is remembered for his ambitious territorial expansion, which included the annexation of Texas and the acquisition of the Oregon Territory. Polk also led the country through the Mexican-American War, significantly expanding U.S. territory. He passed away on June 15, 1849, at the age of 53, from cholera. Polk's legacy endures through his bold actions that reshaped the United States' geographical boundaries and his vision for the nation's future in the mid-19th century. Zachary Taylor, the 12th President of the United States, was a celebrated military leader during the Mexican-American War, gaining national recognition for his victories. His presidency, however, was cut short when he died unexpectedly in 1850. Taylor passed away on July 9, 1850, at the age of 65, from gastroenteritis. His legacy is remembered for his military service and for the brief but impactful role he played in the political landscape of the United States. His death marked a turning point in American history during a period of great change. Millard Fillmore, the 13th President of the United States, is often remembered for his efforts in signing the Compromise of 1850, which sought to ease tensions between the North and South over the issue of slavery. His presidency came at a time of deep division in the nation, yet Fillmore worked to maintain peace. He passed away on March 8, 1874, at the age of 74, from a stroke. Fillmore's legacy is defined by his attempts to preserve the Union during one of America's most volatile periods. Franklin Pierce, the 14th President of the United States, is remembered for his support of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which allowed territories to decide on the issue of slavery through popular sovereignty. This decision deepened the nation's divisions, leading to conflict. Pierce passed away on October 8, 1869, at the age of 64, from cirrhosis. Despite his intentions to unify the country, his presidency is often marked by the rising tensions that eventually led to the Civil War. His legacy is one of controversy and complexity in American politics. James Buchanan, the 15th President of the United States, served at the brink of the Civil War. His inability to prevent the secession of Southern states and his indecisiveness during the nation's most divisive period led to significant criticism of his leadership. Buchanan passed away on June 1, 1868, at the age of 77, from pneumonia. His presidency is often viewed as a failure in preventing the country's descent into civil war, though his legacy is remembered for his efforts to maintain national unity during a time of deep division. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is one of the most revered figures in American history. His leadership during the Civil War, his Emancipation Proclamation, and his dedication to preserving the Union made him a symbol of courage, justice, and perseverance. Lincoln was assassinated on April 15, 1865, at the age of 56, just days after the Confederate surrender. His legacy endures through the abolition of slavery and his vision of equality and freedom for all Americans, making him a beacon of hope for generations to come. Andrew Johnson, the 17th President of the United States, took office after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. His approach to Reconstruction after the Civil War, which was seen as lenient towards the South, led to political conflict and his impeachment. Johnson passed away on July 31, 1875, at the age of 66, from a stroke. Though his presidency was marked by contention, Johnson's legacy is remembered for his significant role in the post-war reconstruction of the nation and his impeachment, which made him the first U.S. president to be impeached. Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th President of the United States, is best known for his leadership during the Civil War, where his victories led to the eventual defeat of the Confederacy. As president, Grant worked to enforce peace, reconstruction, and protect the rights of African Americans in the post-war South. He passed away on July 23, 1885, at the age of 63 from throat cancer. Grant's legacy is defined by his military leadership and his presidency, where he sought to rebuild a fractured nation and promote civil rights. Rutherford B. Hayes, the 19th President of the United States, is remembered for his controversial election in 1876, which led to the end of Reconstruction and the withdrawal of federal troops from the South. Hayes was a reformer, working to civilize the administration and reduce corruption. He passed away on January 17, 1893, at the age of 70 from a stroke. Hayes's legacy is often seen as a transitional figure in American politics, marking the shift from Reconstruction to the Gilded Age. James A. Garfield, the 20th President of the United States, was a reform-minded leader who sought to address corruption within the government. His presidency was tragically cut short when he was assassinated on September 19, 1881, at the age of 49. Garfield's brief time in office left a lasting impact on civil service reform, as his death led to the eventual passage of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act. His legacy is remembered for his dedication to integrity and for the reforms he championed before his untimely death. Chester A. Arthur, the 21st President of the United States, ascended to the presidency after the assassination of James Garfield. Though initially viewed with skepticism, Arthur became known for his commitment to civil service reform, particularly with the Pendleton Act, which aimed to end the spoils system. Arthur passed away on November 18, 1886, at the age of 57 from a stroke. His legacy is defined by his unexpected reforms and his role in modernizing the federal government. Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and 24th President of the United States, remains the only president to serve two non-consecutive terms. Known for his commitment to honesty and fiscal conservatism, Cleveland worked to reduce government corruption and restore integrity to the office. He passed away on June 24, 1908, at the age of 71 from heart failure. Cleveland's legacy is one of principled leadership, a champion of limited government and fairness, and his unique place in history as the only two-time, non-consecutive president. Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during a time of economic change and rising international tensions. He is best known for overseeing the passage of the Sherman Antitrust Act, which was designed to regulate monopolies and promote fair competition. Harrison passed away on March 13, 1901, at the age of 67 from pneumonia. His legacy is marked by his efforts to protect the American economy and his strong advocacy for a more active role in global affairs, laying the groundwork for future international diplomacy. William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, is known for leading the country through the Spanish-American War, which resulted in the U.S. emerging as a global power. McKinley was a strong advocate for American expansion and economic prosperity. He was tragically assassinated on September 14, 1901, at the age of 58. His legacy is defined by his role in the country's rise to international prominence and his vision for America as a dominant force in the 20th century, even though his presidency was cut short by violence. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, is one of the most beloved figures in American history. A dynamic leader, Roosevelt expanded national parks, championed progressive reforms, and negotiated the end of the Russo-Japanese War, for which he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He passed away on January 6, 1919, at the age of 60 from heart failure. Roosevelt's legacy lives on in his bold approach to governance and his conservation efforts, as well as his enduring influence on American politics and the world stage. William Howard Taft, the 27th President of the United States, is best remembered for his work in trust busting and his advocacy for the regulation of big business. After serving as president, Taft became the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, making him the only person to have held both offices. He passed away on March 8, 1930, at the age of 72, from heart disease. Taft's legacy is marked by his commitment to the rule of law and his efforts to expand the role of government in promoting fairness and justice. Woodrow Wilson, the 28th President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during World War I and his vision for a lasting peace through the League of Nations. He played a key role in shaping the Treaty of Versailles, which aimed to prevent future global conflicts. Wilson passed away on February 3, 1924, at the age of 67, following a stroke. His legacy is defined by his efforts to promote democracy, international cooperation, and his profound influence on 20th-century foreign policy, despite the challenges he faced in his later years. Warren G. Harding, the 29th President of the United States, is often remembered for his call for a return to normalcy after World War I. Harding's presidency was marred by scandal, but he is also credited with overseeing a period of economic growth. He passed away on August 2, 1923, at the age of 57, from a heart attack. Despite his relatively short time in office, Harding's legacy is one of contrast, marked by both political controversy and the optimism of the 1920s. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, was known for his calm demeanor and strong belief in limited government and fiscal conservatism. Under his leadership, the country saw economic prosperity and growth during the Roaring Twenties. Coolidge passed away on January 5, 1933, at the age of 60, from heart failure. His legacy is remembered for his emphasis on integrity, his economic policies, and his commitment to government efficiency during a period of significant change in America. Herbert Hoover, the 31st President of the United States, is often remembered for his efforts in humanitarian aid during and after World War I. His presidency, however, was overshadowed by the onset of the Great Depression. Hoover passed away on October 20, 1964, at the age of 90, from natural causes. Despite the challenges of his presidency, Hoover's legacy endures in his dedication to public service and his efforts to alleviate suffering through international relief efforts and social programs. Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. His New Deal programs helped lift the nation out of economic hardship, and his wartime leadership guided the U.S. to victory. Roosevelt passed away on April 12, 1945, at the age of 63, from a cerebral hemorrhage. His legacy is marked by his enduring influence on American government and his role in shaping the world order during and after the war. Harry S. Truman, the 33rd President of the United States, assumed office after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt and led the country through the final stages of World War II. Truman made the pivotal decision to drop atomic bombs on Japan, ending the war and reshaping global politics. He passed away on December 26, 1972, at the age of 88, from natural causes. Truman's legacy is defined by his decisive leadership during one of the most transformative periods in world history and his role in establishing the post-war world order. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, is best known for his leadership during World War II as Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force in Europe. As president, he worked to expand the interstate highway system and promoted peace during the Cold War. Eisenhower passed away on March 28, 1969, at the age of 78, from heart failure. His legacy is marked by his leadership during wartime and his efforts to shape the nation's infrastructure and foreign policy during the 1950s. John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, captivated the world with his vision for a better future, marked by his call to land a man on the moon and his leadership during the Cuban Missile Crisis. His presidency, though brief, left a lasting impact on the nation and the world. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22, 1963, at the age of 46. His legacy endures through his inspiring words and actions that continue to influence political leaders and citizens alike, as a symbol of hope and progress. Lyndon B. Johnson, the 36th President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during the Civil Rights Movement and his Great Society programs that aimed to eliminate poverty and racial injustice. Johnson's presidency saw significant social reforms, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He passed away on January 22, 1973, at the age of 64, from a heart attack. Johnson's legacy is one of transformative social change and his determination to build a more equitable and just society for all Americans. Richard Nixon, the 37th President of the United States, is a complex figure in American history. He opened relations with China and ended the Vietnam War, but his presidency was marred by the Watergate scandal, leading to his resignation. Nixon passed away on April 22, 1994, at the age of 81, from a stroke. Despite his fall from grace, his legacy is marked by his contributions to foreign diplomacy and his pivotal role in the political history of the 20th century. Gerald Ford, the 38th President of the United States, assumed office after Richard Nixon's resignation. Ford is remembered for his calm and steady leadership during a time of national turmoil. His decision to pardon Nixon is still a subject of debate in American history. Ford passed away on December 26, 2006, at the age of 93, from natural causes. His legacy is defined by his dedication to restoring confidence in the American presidency and his role in guiding the nation through a difficult period. Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States, is remembered for his charismatic leadership and his role in ending the Cold War. Reagan's presidency focused on conservative economic policies, military buildup, and strengthening the country's global position. He passed away on June 5, 2004, at the age of 93 after battling Alzheimer's disease. Reagan's legacy is defined by his optimism, his ability to inspire the American people, and his role in reshaping global politics in the late 20th century. George H.W. Bush, the 41st President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during the end of the Cold War and his successful management of the Gulf War. Bush served as president from 1989 to 1993, focusing on foreign diplomacy and domestic stability. He passed away on November 30, 2018, at the age of 94, from natural causes. His legacy is one of diplomacy, service, and steady leadership during a time of significant global and domestic change. Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, is celebrated for his unwavering commitment to human rights and his post-presidency work with the Carter Center, advocating for peace and global health. Carter's presidency, though marked by economic struggles, set the stage for his profound humanitarian efforts later in life. He passed away on December 29, 2024, at the age of 100. Carter's legacy is defined by his humanitarian work, his dedication to global peace, and his role in advancing human rights around the world. As we reflect on the lives and legacies of these U.S. presidents, we are reminded of the sacrifices they made and the choices that forever altered the path of this nation. Their leadership continues to resonate, guiding future generations to uphold the values of freedom, justice, and unity. While their time in office may have been finite, their impact is eternal, shaping the America we know today. Thank you for honoring their stories with us. If you were moved by their legacies, please like, share, and subscribe to Celebrity Tribute Hub, and continue to join us in remembering those who've helped shape the world we live in.